welcome back. 27 to the 2017 AP question. For response, this is question number 3, and we're going to take a few moments and go take a look at this together. This one is a non-calculator question, so let's go ahead and get started. It should be a pretty good one for you. You'll definitely see one of these on the AP. And give us a function. And notice when they give us the function, they give us the function as a derivative right there. So this is the derivative of a graph. And they say and it's on a closed interval and satisfies this initial condition. Now, once they give me initial condition, chances are I'm going to have to do I'm going to have to add or solve for something right here. And they say the graph of f prime is the derivative of f consists of a semicircle, and they tell us the shape of 3 line segments as shown in the figure above. For part A, they want me to find the value of f of -6 and f of 5. Well, since they give me the graph of the derivative, they want me to find the values, we're going to have to integrate. So let's go ahead and do f of -6 first. Well, to get f of -6, I am going to integrate the area. And since they give me the value at -2, I'll start there. So I'm going to go from -6 to -2. Now I like to go in order. Some people go from -2 to -6, and that's fine too. But I like to go in order from -6 to -2. And that's going to be of f prime of x dx. Now this is an FTC question right here. So since I'm looking for the value at -6, this is going to become the value at -2 minus the value at -6 right here. And, whoops, turn the page too much. There we go. So this is an integral, so that tells me I'm looking at the area between -6 and -2. And if you notice, this is a triangle, so I can find the area here. It's 1/2 the base, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, times the height, which is 2, and that's going to give us a height, an area of 4. So I know that this region here is 4, and that's going to equal f of -2, which we're told is 7, minus f of -6. Therefore, we can get f of -6, and that becomes +3 right here. So that's going to give you actually 1 point right here. And I can do the same thing when I'm looking for f of 5. And I'm going to go this time from -2 to 5. F prime of x dx, and that's going to be the area, using my FTC, f of 5 minus f of -2. So I have to find the area between -2 and 5, and that's going to be a little bit -2 and 5. So that's going to be our semicircle. That's 3, 4, 5 to here. So we got the semicircle, which has an area, looks like be at 2, so it'll be, what's the area here? It becomes pi. The radius is 2 squared, so 4, but it's negative because it's below the x-axis. Please don't forget that. And it's actually half of that, so we should get -2 pi. And then we get the area of this triangle right here, which is 1/2 the base, which is 1, 2, 3, and the height, which is 2. That's going to give me an area of 3 right there. So when I add those together, it's going to be -2 pi plus 3. So I'm going to put that down here, -2 pi plus 3, and that's going to equal f of 5, which is what I'm looking for, minus f of -2, which they tell me is 7, and therefore I can get my value at 5 to be, what's that going to become? Bring that over, -2 pi plus 10. Now, and there's our answer. That's also worth 1 point. However, there's another point here. If you use the initial condition 7, you get another point. That's for just using the initial condition, you get 1 point right there. If any time you use the initial condition, you're just going to give you a point for it. So that's question A. Take a look at that one. Definitely do that one again, because you will definitely see that one on the AP this year. Okay, that's a big one for us. Right, question number part B. It says on which values is the function increasing or decreasing? Oh my gosh, there it is. You see it. It is definitely a sign test. I love sign tests. They're my favorite thing. That's our sign test. Sign charts, everybody. So the first thing we need to find out is where f prime of 0. These are, of course, our critical numbers. And we can do that by looking at the graph here. Where does this is my derivative. We're just looking for where it crosses the x-axis. And it crosses at -2, 2, and 5. So we're going to condition our critical numbers are going to be -2, 2, and 5. And I can just do my sign chart. We're going from -6 to 5, f prime and f, -2 and 2. You may be like, Mr. Winner, this stuff is so easy. Why should we do all this stuff? Get the points where you can, man. Get the points. Get the answer right. All right, so let's take a look. We're looking at the signs. Above the x-axis, above the x-axis, f prime is positive. Below, f prime is negative. So we got positive, negative, positive. So I can do that. Positive, negative, positive. Up, down, and up. Where are we increasing? So we can say we are increasing on the domains -6 to -2, or 2 to 5, and that is because f prime is greater than 0. And that's it. That's it. Now, and there's our answers right here. And that is worth whopping 2 points right there. One, I would give you a point for your graph, 1 point for your answer, how I would do it. All right, part C. Do we have absolute minimum? We saw this on the 2016. It's our candidates test. Excuse me. So for our candidates test, well, what do we need? Oh yeah, our critical numbers, which we already have, -2, 2, and 5. And we need our endpoint, which they give us, -6 and 5. And then we're just going to make our table. All right, so here's x, and here's f of x. So my endpoints, -6 and 5, -2 and 2. Now we know some values already. We know that 5 is 10 minus 2 pi. That's from part A. That's from part A right here. Also from part A, we know, what else do we know? We know from part A, there it is. Here's part A. We also know f of -6 was 3. So I know that f of -6 is also 3. Whoops, let me see here. And now I am looking for an absolute minimum value. So if I go up to my sign chart, take a look here. -2 cannot be. This is a maximum value because from part C, we know that goes up and down. So I know -2 can't work. So I just have to find the value at 2. And I can do that. F of 2. That's just going to be my area from -2 to 2, because remember, that's my known value there. F prime of x dx. And that is going to be what? F of 2 minus f of -2. And we already know the area here from -2 to 2. That's our semicircle. So that's just -2 pi equals f of 2 minus, and we know that the value here is 7. So I know that f of 2 is 7. Oops, sorry. That's up. Is going to become -7. There we go, -7. Yeah, it's going to become 7 minus 2 pi. There we go, 7 minus 2 pi. And so what's going to be our maximum value? I mean our minimum value, sorry. So it's going to be our minimum value, excuse me. It's going to be this 7 minus 2 pi. There we go. So our absolute minimum occurs at, and I would write it as a point, 2 comma 7 minus 2 pi. That's a weird looking 2 there. There we go. And there's your answer. And this would be worth 2 points on the AP. Typically that's worth 3 points on the AP, but they gave us this part D in this next part here where they took some points away from it, okay? So not that hard to do. We already have most of the answers. Try that one again a little bit slower, and make sure you know how to answer that. You will see candidates test. All right, and the last question for part D. Part D says, for each of f double prime of 5 and f double prime of 3, find the value, explain why it does not exist. Well, since we already got the derivatives, right? So f double prime of negative 5 is basically the slope of f prime of negative 5. So I just have to look at the slope of my graph. So if I go back a couple steps, 1, 2, at negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I just want the slope of this line right here. And it goes down 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So the slope there is, so therefore f double prime of negative 5 is negative 2 over 4, which is negative 1/2. And that's worth 1 point. Take the second derivative at 3. Again, this is the slope of f of 3. There's another way to write it. Let's say the slope of, okay? So I want to find that one now. Okay, so if I go back at 3, oh no, notice at 3 we have a corner. We have a corner there, so it does not exist. But they explain why it does not exist, or why it does not exist. So when I'm saying that f double prime of 3 does not exist, and because f of 3 is not differentiable. Don't say there's a corner there. You gotta be more, it's just not differentiable. But why is it not differentiable? Because f prime of 3 has a corner. And that's all you really need to write. You can use limits, I think, to explain it as well, but this will work just fine. And there's your work. There's your work. So take a look at all 3 of these. Okay, question 1, 2, and 3. Make sure you work them. And if you have questions, contact me. Okay, let me know. Bye bye.